We're going to see here how to create a memory game using Google Drawing. So first thing, we have a blank canvas in Google Drawing. We can right click and change the background. And I'll change it to just a green. Now what we're going to want to here is put what's basically in a traditional memory game, what's underneath the tile. So what we're trying to match. And in the Google Drawing, it's basically going to be separate from the actual tile, and it's what's going to be laying on this background. So we want to place these items in text boxes. So I'm going to draw a text box, and with that text box I want to give it a border, so just to make it stand out a little bit. We can do a lot of copying and pasting, so and actually I will put in a word here just as a placeholder, and to make it look a little nicer we can align it centered and align it up and down. And now what I'm going to do is highlight this whole thing, Control C to copy, and then Control V to paste. And I'm going to go here. I can actually copy these two, Control C, Control V. Slide this over. And we'll just do 4. And I can actually resize this canvas a little bit. Now I can highlight all these, Control C, Control V. Right, copy and paste. I can drop this down. I can copy even all that, Control C, Control V. All right, well, however we can save time, we want to do that. All right, and I can even make this a little bit smaller. So now we have all our items that we're going to have our matches. So, like for instance, we could just have a word here, which would be like maybe we're doing words and definitions. So house, and maybe the match would be here, a place people live. All right, maybe we would just have matching words, like we can have, and it could be some sort of term, oxygen and hydrogen make water. And maybe I can copy all that, because maybe there's just terms we want to remember, or phrases we want to remember, right? So that could be a match. Another idea is maybe we want to insert image and then choose to search the web. And what we can do, because maybe we're trying to match images with what they are, maybe this would apply maybe for a younger grade. So I can select this and insert, and maybe instead of the word I'm going to have an image. Now obviously I'm going to need to resize this. You can drag that here, and obviously that is a frog. Okay, so you can see maybe we even do math, right? 3x plus 7 equals 19, right? So the answer to that, maybe we want to put here x equals 4, right? So we'll build our whole board out, and you can make it whatever size you want, and we have all our matches, so everything has a pair. But obviously we want to kind of cover these things up. But what I like to do before we start making the tiles is kind of make sure, because we don't want these items to move ever. We're going to highlight everything. And what I like to do is right click, group, and that just kind of groups everything together. So you can see if I was to click on something, it highlights everything. So I could move the whole thing at once if I needed to. Put it back. But we're going to leave that there. And now we need to build a tile. So what I like to do is do an insert shape. And really we could use any shape you want, but I'm going to grab this little beveled shape, right? And I will make it a certain size, just so we want to make sure it covers these tiles. So I'm going to make it a certain size, and what we're going to do, we can make it a color. Why not? We make it nice bright red. We can this is like the cover of our tile, so memory game for science or whatever. We can again align it, make it look a little pretty, while we created one, we can Control C, Control V, right? That's going to duplicate it. Control V. duplicate it, Control V, and duplicate it. Right? If we find that we don't have room, we can expand our canvas. Maybe we need to move all of these, but again, they're grouped. We're going to want to ungroup. So now I can select just this row, move them over a little bit. Let's move this here. I can move these over a little bit. Let's move this out of the way. And we'll move that over. So now I can drop in all our tiles. Okay. All our tiles. Control C, Control V. I mean, we could even do something like this, right? We know that they're about lined up. And here, we can select all these, Control C, Control V. Drag them all over. Right? Control V. They're aligned. Drag these ones over. Control V, because I still have it copied. Move these over. So you see now our memory game is all covered, and we can even add a couple little text boxes up here for our players. Player 1, and I like to put a little box around there. Whoops, drag that over. Let's make it not as big. Player 2. And let's center these and align up and down. We can center this and align this up and down as well. And now when we're playing the game, we can remove our things. Nope, those don't match. Put them back. Right, and when we do find the ones that match, right, let's just say we got a word and we got a word, right? Those match. The player can start building and holding their tiles over here, and whoever has the most in the end wins. This is an idea for creating a memory game, and this could be created by teachers to use with their students, or students can create these individually as study guides or some kind of other resource for their classes. So what you see here is your typical game of memory, where people can remove different tiles by just clicking and dragging these off. And you can see it releases something underneath. So this one says word 1. And then I can actually hold it here. And if I remove this one, some text 3, no match. Okay, so I can move my tiles back. And I can, maybe the next person goes and said, oh, I remember here, word 1. And I can pull this off here. Definition 1. So we can think of it like this. Maybe you're providing a word and a definition that match, and maybe player 2 wins that. So they can hold on to their tiles over here. All right, so we can see 1, 2 tiles there, or we easily count them. We can do like this. And they can continue. It's also an option where we can say, oh, some text 3. Okay, and maybe here. Some text 6, some text 6. So maybe it's just matching words, terms, phrases, anything like that. Those could be a possible match. So this one wins. All right, maybe now it's player 1's turn. It can also be something along the lines of like this. We have an image, and again, this box doesn't have to be there, but it can be there. So we have an image of a frog. What might I be looking for? Frog. So maybe lower grades, frog, those match. So maybe player 1 wins these cards. We also can possibly take it into math. Okay, so we have 3x minus 7 equals 5. What are we maybe looking for? 4. And this maybe should say x equals 4. But what we have there is a match, and we can move this over. So this is a simple memory game created in Google Drawing. Students and teachers can easily create these, share these, use them as study guides, however you want to do it. Pretty simple concept and can be used in many different subject areas and purposes.